busy. We don't have much time. Join Mr. Maker's Patreon. Now, that's all I can say.
Before we jump into today's build, here are a few photos of a hologram projector I designed a couple years ago. It was one of my early creations, simple, not much detail, but I resin printed it and made a little Yoda and Emperor figures in tinted blue so they would glow like holograms. It worked, but it definitely was a beginner design. Today, though, we're building the Mystery Makers version. This one actually looks like a real Star Wars hologram. Marko includes detailed photos, the hologram videos, links to every part you'll need, and even tutorials on how to make your own custom holograms. So let's get into it. To start the build, I lined the inside, top, and bottom with aluminum foil. This helped block any of the light bleed from the internal LED that I put in and keeps the hologram effect clean and focused. I went ahead and installed the light for this version. I later realized that it might not be necessary since the hologram visuals are strong on their own, and the light was really kind of too bright in my opinion. You'll see the Yoda figure from my previous hologram sitting on the top at the end of this video. So you can kind of decide on the extra light if it really needs it or not, but I do think that the hologram stands on its own just fine. Next, I did a black wash, just heavily watered down black paint. You've probably seen it in my previous videos. I let it sit for a minute and then wipe it off with a rag or a paper towel. Normally I would use a wash for weathering, but today it served two purposes. This piece was printed in that silver silk PLA, you might have seen it around. It's a nice material, but once you apply a black wash, it starts to look more like aluminum or steel. If you saw my T800 short, I use the same technique. I also washed the resin light cover to tone it down a bit. It helped, but the light was still pretty bright. I thought about adding a diffuser, but honestly, for the purpose of the build, it works just fine. After that, I installed the trim pieces, which I resin printed in clear material and lightly weathered them for a more worn look. I painted the back post black to help sell the illusion of the hologram floating. That way your eye doesn't immediately catch the support behind it. Once the post was painted, I superglued it in place and fed the power wire through the back. Then I mounted the actual hologram device using the screw that was supplied with the hologram and the fitting that Mystery Makers had in the design as well. Finally, I set the LED light into the base with a bit of hot glue to keep everything secure. Once everything was in place, I tested the LED to make sure it was working, then glued on the top cover. I can still access the light whenever I need to because the base just screws onto the top and it's so easy to remove from maintenance in case you need to change out anything. And here's the final result, the projector with just the light on and Yoda is sitting on top. It's definitely bright, but honestly it looks cool either way. And if you want to switch things up, you can just simply remove the hologram and just use the LED by itself. Super easy. And here are a couple of the preloaded hologram videos. They're shown with the LED both on and off. I sped up the footage so the illusion reads better on camera, but in person it looks even cooler. One of the best parts about this design is that you can also load your own custom videos, and Marko gives you all the instructions on how to do that. So you can have any hologram you want on there. This was such a fun project, and as always, I can't thank Marko over at Mystery Makers enough for creating these amazing files for all of us to build. So until the next build, keep creating, and I'll see you next time.
Need a print? Give us a try. We're your friendly 3D printing guy. And remember, now offering discounts to returning customers.